Hi everyone, it is Alex with Holistic Movement Pilates. Today I have a jump board class for you using the ball. So this is going to be more of a stability class, getting your heart rate up. And then we are going to go ahead and get started. Again, your jump boards are on. Grab a ball. We're going to start with a red and a yellow spring, which on my balance body reformer is one heavy, one light. Headrest can be up or down, that's up to you. We're going to start lying down onto our reformers for a little warm up. Okay, so once we get down onto our reformers, we're going to go ahead, take our balls, they're going to go right underneath our sacrum, so the lowest part of our backs, right above our tailbones. They should be on your tailbones as well, so I don't want them to go too high up into your low back, just right on that flat part. And then we're going to reach behind us and grab our short loops into our hands. Once we grab a hold of our short loops, arms are just going to go straight up to the ceiling, hands are right over your shoulders. Now, if you don't feel comfortable, you can take the ball out from underneath your sacrum at any point. Knees are going to go up into a tabletop position, and we're finding a nice stability with our core. On an exhale, I'm going to just pull my arms straight down to the mat for a little reach and pull. And then on my inhale, I'm going to return my arms back up to the ceiling. So again, I'm exhaling to pull my arms straight down, and then I'm inhaling to return back up, feeling my lats engaging as I pull. So those nice big muscles that run up into the sides of your back. Exhale, press, inhaling as we return back up. Again, think engaging that core on our exhales, and then inhaling as we return. Now, if you feel comfortable enough, you can add in some single leg extensions with these. So when you press your arms down, you can reach your right leg out away from you. You can inhale to return back in. Then you can exhale, press, extend the left leg, and then we can inhale, return. If you don't feel comfortable, again, you can just keep your knees in that tabletop position, thinking our core is active as we reach our legs out. Exhale, press and extend. Inhale, return. Exhale away. And then inhale again as we come back in. We're just going to do a few more like this. And then last one. All right, then once we come back, we're gonna pause. I'm gonna press my arms all the way down to my hips. Palms are gonna rotate towards my body. I'm gonna inhale, open my arms out to a T. And then on my exhale, I'm pressing my palms back down to my hips. Inhale out to a T. Exhaling as I press my palms to my hips, feeling my lats and biceps engaging on that press. Again, my core is firing up. And then if we feel comfortable, we can add in those legs again. So if you feel comfortable enough, when you open your arms, you can reach one leg out to a challenging level. As you press your palms to your hips, you can pull that leg back in. Then you can switch to the other leg, and then exhale, pull back in. And I want the movement of the legs to come when the arms open out to a T. That's going to be a little more challenging for your stability. And then if you do feel a little more comfortable, you can add in both legs going out and in rather than doing a single leg. So single leg extensions, double leg extensions, that is up to you. Again, it's an inhale to open, and then an exhaling as we press, feeling our lats, biceps, and core all firing up together. Let's go ahead and do two more here. And then last one. Now, once we press the palms to the hips, we can hold them there. Arms are going to go back up to the ceiling. They'll open out to a T, and then they'll press down to our hips for our circle. So we're going up to the ceiling, out to a T, exhaling as we press back down. Now, same thing with the legs. If you want to go ahead and add in some single leg extensions with these, if you want to add in double leg extensions with these to make them a little more challenging, that is all up to you. You can always just keep your knees in a tabletop position. All right, now the next time the arms come up to the ceiling, we're gonna pause, and then we'll reverse. So we go down to the hips, we open out to the sides to circle around and back up. Again, I'm exhaling to press, inhaling to circle my arms around and back up. Again, drawing the abs in as I exhale to reach the legs out. Abs are drawing in and up. Again, you can do single leg extensions, double leg extensions, or you can just keep your knees in your tabletop position. We'll do 2 more circles in this direction. And then the next time we go down to the hips, we'll hold our palms at our hips. Last thing will be our tricep press. We can bend the elbows, and then we can exhale to press the palms back down. We can inhale, bend, exhale to press. Again, I'm drawing my abs in and up. The legs, same thing as before, are up to you. Trying to find that stability again with your core. We'll go for 4 more with that tricep press. 2, and then last one. Then once we come back in, we can just relax our feet back down. We are going to go ahead, hang our straps back up onto the pegs, and then I'm gonna lift my hips up, and I'm just gonna take that ball out from underneath my sacrum. Okay, when that ball comes out, we're gonna take it to the jump board. We're gonna take it underneath the right foot. So the ball should be underneath the right foot on the jump board. Our left knee is gonna go up into a tabletop position. I'm gonna find my neutral spine. My pelvis is gonna stay nice and steady. I'm gonna exhale to push the carriage out with my right leg, and then I'm gonna inhale, control back in, holding my neutral spine. I'm exhaling to push out with that right leg, and then inhaling to come back in. I'm just trying to keep that ball as steady as possible underneath my foot. So feel that quad working, feel your core working, and then inhaling as we return. So we push out with control, and then we resist to come back in. So don't think the springs are bringing you back in. Your quad is working on that stability when you come back in. If you struggle with the ball here, it does help to take some air out of it to make it a little more deflated. If that still doesn't work, you can always just take the ball out, and you can just do pushes without the ball. Exhaling as we push out, inhaling as we resist to come back in. Let's go for 3 more. After this one, again, feeling that quad really working to go out and in. My pelvis is staying nice and still. And then this is the last one. It's an exhale as we push out, and an inhale to bend to come back in. All right, we're gonna roll that ball to the left foot. Our right knee is gonna go up into a tabletop position. Again, I'm exhaling to push out, and then I'm inhaling to resist back in. One side is definitely gonna feel a little different than the other. Adjust those balls as needed. Exhale away, inhale as I resist to come back in. Same thing as the right side. Pelvis is staying just nice and neutral the entire time. Exhale, push, engaging that core. Inhaling as we resist, using that left quad to bring our carriage back in. Again, if you don't feel comfortable, you can always take the ball out or let a little air out. If it's a little more deflated, it's a little easier to control. And I really want you to feel that quad working as we go out and in. And then after these, we are going to start some jumps. We have 3 more with that left leg. Exhale to push. Inhaling as we resist for 2. And then last one. And in. All right, once we come back in, we're gonna take those balls out, we'll set them to the sides. We will use them a little later. We're gonna go ahead and start with our feet onto our jump board into our Pilates stance. So our heels are together, our toes are turned apart. We're back still in our neutral spine, and we're gonna start with 10 jumps in our Pilates stance. So when we're ready, we're gonna exhale, jump out, and then inhale as we land back in. So 10 jumps with the heels together and the toes turned apart. The legs should naturally zip together as we jump out. The knees should naturally open out to the sides as we come back in. We have 3, 2, and 1. Okay, once we come back in, we're gonna pause. Wide second position, so feet are all the way out to the sides. We're still in that external rotation. 10 jumps in our wide second, and it's an exhale out, and an inhale back, out, and in, exhale, and inhale. Nice, soft landings. Abs are in every time we jump away. We have 3 and 1. Okay, then once we come back in, our feet are going to go parallel with each other, sits bones distance away, so just about that fist distance away from each other. 10 jumps with our parallel feet. Again, exhaling out, inhaling back. Again, I'm holding my neutral spine the entire time. My abs are drawing in and up as I jump away. For 3 and 1. Then once we come back in, we pause in. We're to keep our feet parallel to start. We're moving into jumping jacks. So we're gonna jump out, land with our feet wide. Then we're gonna jump out, land center, jump out, land wide, jump out, land center. Every time you jump away, that is 1 jump. So we have 10 total. Exhale out, and then again, inhaling as we come back in. Every time we jump, that is 1. So this is 5, 6, 9, and 10. Okay, then once we come back in, we're just gonna go ahead and pause in. So now once we come in, we're gonna go ahead and do a series that I like to call 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. We're gonna be jumping for a while. We're gonna do all 4 of those jumps that we just did. So we're gonna do Pilates stance, we're gonna do wide second, we're gonna do parallel and jumping jacks. We're gonna go back to our Pilates stance. We're jumping 10 times in our Pilates stance. Then we're gonna go back to our wide second, which we just did 10 jumps there, parallel for 10 jumps, and then jumping jacks for 10 jumps. After we finish those 10, we're gonna move to 8. So we go back to Pilates stance for 8 jumps, wide second for 8 jumps, parallel for 8 jumps, jumping jacks for 8 jumps, and we go back to our Pilates stance for 6. So we're doing every jump 10 times, every jump 8 times, 6 times, 4 times, and 2 times. So 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, Pilates stance, wide second, parallel, jumping jacks. After 2, we're gonna be done with our little jumps here. So Pilates stance, again, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Make sure you're counting just because your counts might be a little different from mine. Again, Pilates stance, wide second, parallel, jumping jacks. Those are the 4 jumps you're doing. So when we're ready, 10 of everything. We exhale to jump, we inhale to land, exhale away, inhale back. Heels are together, toes are turned apart for our Pilates stance. My abs are drawing in every time I jump out. I have 2 more in my Pilates. And then after this one, I'm gonna go wide second for 10. Exhale out, inhale back. Holding my neutral spine the entire time. Feel free to turn on some music for this series because we're gonna be here for a while. I have 2 more in my wide second. And then parallel for 10. Exhale out, inhale back. And then after these, I'm gonna go into jumping jacks for 10. Every time you jump out, that is 1 jump. This is 10. I'm gonna go back into my Pilates stance for 8 now. Exhaling out, inhaling back. So now we're going back through 8 of everything. Pilates, wide second, parallel, and then jumping jacks. Again, this is 8. I'm going into my wide second for 8. Parallel for 8. And then jumping jacks for 8. Last set of 8. Then once we finish those 8, back into our Pilates stance for 6. We have 6 of everything. This is when it goes by pretty quick. Heels together, toes apart in that Pilates stance. And then I'm moving on to wide second for 6. Parallel for 6. And then jumping jacks for 6. And then Pilates for 4. Wide second for 4. So everything for 4. Parallel. And then I'm finishing off with 4 jumping jacks. After these, I have 2 of everything. So I'm going 2 of everything. Pilates, wide second, parallel, and then jumping jacks. 1, 2, and in. Okay, feel free if you're finished jumping, give your legs a little stretch. If you're not finished, just finish up with your sets. Give your legs a stretch when you finish those jumps. And then we will come up and sit to the right side of our reformers. When we sit up, I'm gonna take off that yellow or that light spring, so I just have 1 heavy spring on my reformer. And then when I get onto that single heavy, I'm gonna grab my ball, lie on my right side. My forearm is gonna go down into my headrest. I'm gonna hold on to the shoulder block out in front of me with my right hand, and I'm just gonna slide that ball like right underneath my ribs, right around my waistline. When I get here, my hips are stacked, my shoulders are stacked on top of each other, and then my right shoulder is out of my ear. Both feet are gonna be on the jump board. Knees and feet can be just about that sits bones, that fist distance away from each other. I'm gonna hold on to the same shoulder block with my left hand. We're gonna do 10 jumps here with both legs. We exhale out, inhale back, exhale away, inhale back. Hips and shoulders stay stacked on top of each other. I should feel my left obliques working to keep my legs lifted. I have 3. Heels don't have to get down ever when you're jumping. And then once we come back in, we're gonna go ahead and pause it. Now, my bottom leg is gonna stay off the jump board. My top foot is gonna stay on parallel. I'm gonna do 10 parallel jumps here with just that top leg. Exhale away, inhale back. Every time I jump out, I'm just kicking my left leg back slightly to get into my glute max. Exhale, inhale. I have 3. Hips, shoulders stay stacked. Last 1. Okay, then once I come back in, we're gonna pause in, externally rotate, so toes, knees point up to the ceiling. Bottom leg, right leg stays relaxed. 10 jumps in that external rotation. Again, just trying to keep those hips stacked here. Exhale away, inhale back. This is 5. We have 5 more. 2 and 1. All right, then once we come back in, we're gonna go ahead and pause in. Now, I'm gonna bring my legs completely together. Both feet are gonna be on the jump board. The next time I jump out, I'm gonna take my left hand behind my head. I'm gonna jump away, and I'm gonna think I'm pulling my knees, especially my left, to my elbow. So we're gonna jump, pull the knees to the elbows, land back center, jump, knees to elbows, land back center. We're gonna do 10 of those. When we're ready, exhale away, aim for the left knee to go to the left elbow. Our pelvis can rotate slightly when we pull in, and then the hips should be parallel to the wall in front of us when we come back in. I have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, then once we come back in, we're going to pause in. We're gonna take the ball out. We're gonna stay here on our side. Ball is gonna go into your right hand. It can go overhead. Bottom leg is gonna say relax again. We're gonna jump out. We're gonna go left toes to ball, land back. Left toes to ball, land back. Same thing, our hips can rotate slightly up to the ceiling when we bring the leg to the ball. 10 total. Exhale, kick it, land back center, kick, rotate, land back center. 10 total. This is 4. Again, we want those obliques to be working. We have 5 more. 3, 2, and 1. All right, then once we come back in, we're gonna pause in. We're gonna rotate. So now we're on our hands and our knees. We're just gonna set the ball to the side for a second. We will use it in a little bit. Last thing that we're gonna do on this left leg, shoulders over the hands, hips over the knees. Down onto your forearms if you can't be on your wrist. I'm gonna jump out 10 times with just my left leg. Exhale out, inhale back, and I'm giving my left leg just a little kick up every time I jump away. So again, I can get into my glute max. Abs are in. We have 4. Stabilizing from the shoulders and the core. Last one, and in. Okay, once we come back, grab those balls again. We're lying on our left side this time. That ball goes underneath our ribs, kind of around our waistline. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. Both of my hands are hanging onto the shoulder block in front of me. Both feet are on the jump board. Feet and knees are sits bone distance out. Again, hips, shoulders stacked. Both legs jump out for 10. Exhale out, inhale back. Find that stability in your core. We want to feel those right obliques working to keep those legs up. Again, it's an exhale away and inhale to return for 4, 2, and 1. All right, then once we come back in, we're gonna pause in. The bottom leg, left leg stays relaxed, top foot stays parallel, 10 parallel jumps, 10 externally rotated jumps. Exhale out, inhale back again. I'm giving my leg a little bit of a kick back. It's just the right foot jumping out and in. It stays parallel to start for 10. This is 7. All right, now after this, we go external rotation. So toes, knees point up for 10. Keep those toes, knees pointed up. Hips stay stacked. Shoulders stay stacked. 8 and 10. Okay, when I come back in, I'm going to pause in. This time my right hand goes behind my head. When I jump out with both legs, they're gonna stay zipped together. I'm gonna go elbow to knee, land back with my feet parallel, elbow to knee, land back with my feet parallel. Again, when we bring our knee to our elbow, we can rotate our pelvis slightly up to the ceiling. 10 total. Exhale out, inhale back. Again, go knee to elbow, elbow to knee to get, again, into our obliques. For 4, 2, and 1. Okay, take that ball into your right hand. Reach your right arm up to the ceiling. The right foot stays on the jump board. The bottom leg, that left leg is gonna stay relaxed. When we jump, we go foot to ball, land back, foot to ball, land back. Again, 10 of everything. Pelvis can rotate slightly up when you kick that leg up and back. 4 more. 2 and 1. All right, once we come back, we can pause, set that ball to the side, and then come kneeling on the reformer again, facing the straps. When we kneel, right foot is gonna be on the jump board. If you need to drop down onto your forearms to get off of your wrist, drop down onto the forearms. Abs are in, stabilize from your shoulders and core, 10 jumps with the right leg. Kick it up to the ceiling when we jump away. Hips should stay parallel to the floor when we give that leg a little kick. Land back in. Exhale and inhale back. Halfway there. Lengthen out through the crown of your head. We have 3 and 1. All right, once we come back, we are going to go ahead, pause in. I'm gonna scoot my knees forward. I'm gonna grab my ball and I'm gonna set it underneath my butt. Now, if you can't bend your knees like this, you can just go ahead and sit on your butt. We will not be here long. We're staying on this one red spring. Grab your straps into both hands. We're moving into arms. Long loops are light, short loops are heavier. If you want to grab a little higher to make it heavier, you can. We're sitting up nice and tall on top of our butts on the ball or just on your butt with your legs either crisscross or through your carriages if this doesn't feel good on the knees. Palms are facing back. I'm exhaling to press my palms back behind me. Inhaling to return. Exhale, press. Inhale, return. Shoulders are down. Abs are in. Exhale to press back. And then again, inhaling, just returning those arms back out. We have 3, 2, and then last one. Okay, once we return, we're gonna pause. The next time we press our arms back, we have to hold them behind us. The carriage doesn't move. Make sure when we press, our chest and our head don't jut forward. So keep the head and the chest back. Press back 1 time, hold as far back as you can. If they're at your hips, that is fine. Make sure your head and your chest stay back. Your thumbs come towards each other, apart, together, apart. Again, the carriage does not move. You're just bringing the fingers together, apart. Now my fingers aren't actually touching. That is fine. Keep those carriages still. Keep your chest and your head back for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then release. Okay, choke up. I'm just gonna go a little tiny bit higher onto my straps. Palms are gonna rotate towards my body. I'm gonna bring my elbows right into my ribs. Palms need to stay rotated towards you. They're not gonna rotate back towards your jump board at any point. We're gonna hinge slightly forward with a flat back. Tricep kickbacks. I'm gonna exhale, press my palms back. Inhale, bend. Exhale to press, inhale, bend. Again, abs are in here. Exhale, press, inhale, bend. Keep the palms rotated towards your body. Keep your elbows in to your ribs. We're gonna go for 4, 3. All right, on this last one, we have to hold those arms back behind us. We bend a few inches. We do a full extension. Little bend, full extension. So not fully bending. Little bend, full extension. 2, 3 inches, full extension. 2, 3 inches, full extension. Abs are in for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we can go ahead and sit up. Okay, we're gonna hang our straps back up onto the pegs. We're gonna take those balls out. Last thing that we have here, you can set the balls to the sides, go to 1 medium spring on your reformer, take off that heavy. We're still kneeling, facing our straps. Knees are up against the shoulder blocks. Hands are gonna go on the frame of our reformer for kneeling, abs facing back. Now, when we're here, if you want a little more range of motion, a little more work for your core, walk your hands just a few inches away from your shoulders, and then you can shift forward so now your knees aren't underneath your hips. Shoulders are right over the hands. Arms are gonna work to stabilize you here so they don't move. You're gonna tuck your pelvis, pull the carriage in with your core, and then you're letting the spring bring the knees back. So again, my arms aren't moving, my shoulders are right over my hands. I'm gonna exhale, tuck my pelvis, pull my knees in, and then inhale as I go back. Now, as I pull, my butt sinks back towards my heels, and then I'm inhaling to return. Again, the arms are not moving. It's from the pelvis. You tuck, you pull, you inhale, return. I'm drawing my abs in to my back as I pull my knees in. Exhale, inhale as I return. Eyes just looking right down to the floor. Tuck, pull, inhale, return. Let's go for 3. Think really scoop into those low abs. It's really easy to cheat on this. Last one. And then once we return, we can let our arms go back. We can drop our chest down in between our arms. Just give ourselves a quick stretch here. Okay, we'll sit ourselves off to the sides of our reformers, and then we'll go 2 heavy springs for some feet and straps. Now, if you want it a little heavier, you can always add on a light. I'm actually gonna go heavier. I'm gonna do 2 heavies and 1 light spring today. We're gonna lie ourselves down onto our reformers, and then when we get down, we're gonna reach behind us, grab our long loops, and then you can just go right onto our feet. Okay, so once we get our straps on our feet, our legs are going to go up just as high as we can hold our neutral spines. Feet are gonna be parallel with each other. I'm gonna flex my feet to pull my legs down towards my springs. I'm gonna point my toes as I hinge to come back up. So again, I'm gonna exhale, flex to pull down, and then I'm gonna inhale, point, hinge to come back up. Exhale, flex to pull, and then inhale, point, and hinge. I'm drawing my abs in on that exhale as I pull down. Inhale, hinge, come back up. Exhale, flex to pull. Inhale as I point and hinge. Let's do 3 more. Bra line stay heavy, sacrum stay heavy. Last one, exhale, flex to pull. And then inhale, point and hinge. Now let's bring the heels together, toes turn apart, so we're in that Pilates V. Lower the legs down to a little lower than a 45-degree angle. We're gonna point and flex again. So my toes are pointed right now. I'm going to open them out to the sides of the room, and then on my exhale, I'm gonna flex my feet and pull my heels back together in that same line. We're gonna point the toes to open the legs out, flex the feet to pull those heels back together, staying in the same line as we open. And then as we close, adductors. Inhale, point to open. Exhaling as we flex to close. We're gonna do 4 more. And then last one, inhale, open. Exhale, flex to close. Now, when we come back together, we don't have to worry about pointing or flexing anymore. We are going to stay in our Pilates stance, so heels are together, toes are turned apart. I'm going to let my right leg open out to the side of the room. As I do that, I'm gonna bend my left knee in for a frog, so Peter Pans, and then we're gonna push into both feet to bring our legs back to that starting position. Then the left leg opens as the right knee bends for that Peter Pan, and then we exhale to press back. Now, the idea is that when we let the right leg open, that left hip is gonna stay heavy. When the left leg opens, that right hip is staying heavy. If you feel the opposite hip lifting up, it helps to have your leg go up a little higher rather than having it go down a little lower to the floor. So inhale as we open, and then we're exhaling to push back center. I'm gonna feel my inner thighs again working as I push center. Let's do 3 more. And then 1 more right, 1 more left. Then once we press back center, pause, bring your feet parallel with each other. We're gonna hinge at the hips, go up as high as we can hold our neutral spine. Again, feet should be parallel. We're opening our legs wide out to the sides. We're gonna press them down and round, zip them together. And then we're hinging at the hips to come back up. So we open the legs wide, we press down around, we zip them together. We hinge to come back up. We're feeling our adductors working as we zip our legs together, holding again that neutral spine the entire time. We're gonna go for 2, and then last one. Now, once we come back up, we're gonna pause, and then we're gonna reverse. So we go down, we open the legs wide to circle around and back up. It's an exhale to pull down, and then an inhale to circle around and back up. Again, nice big circles, opening up those hips, staying in that neutral spine so the movement comes right from the head of the femur in that hip socket. Okay, let's do 2 more. And then last one. Now, once we come back up, we're gonna pause. You can come out of your neutral spine. Legs can go straight up to the ceiling. I'm just gonna pull my straps and flex my feet, just stretch out the backs of the legs into the low back. Then we'll take those straps off of our feet. We'll hang them back up. I'm gonna sit to the left side of my reformer. I'm going to just one heavy spring. Everything else comes off. I'm gonna stand to the left side. My right foot goes back to the shoulder block closest to me. Left foot is on the floor. I'm gonna push the carriage out with my right leg first. I'm gonna push out with my left. Pause, opening up from the front of the right leg, back of the left, and then you can hold whatever lunge feels best for you. So if you want to drop down onto the frame, you can hold onto the frame. If you want to go down onto your forearms, you can. You can move through this stretch. It is up to you, whatever feels best in your body to stretch. All right, then the carriage comes all the way back in, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're gonna go left foot back, right foot is gonna go onto the floor. We're gonna push back with the left, press back with the right. We're gonna hold again, whatever feels best for you on the frame, moving, holding onto the jump board, up to you. Again, just stretching out the front of the left leg, the back, the right. All right, then we can bring our carriage all the way back in. You can step off to the side. You are all finished with that jump board workout. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me today.